Testing. 1, 2, 3, 7, 8, 9, 13, 12.
Wow.
Hey guys, welcome back to the table.
That was a long pause when you're like,
Just trying to find a place to start.
hey guys.
Welcome to the Table for Seven podcast, the first podcast of 2021. Not that there were that many in 2020. I think we only did one officially in 2020. Yeah. But 2020 is behind us.
It is, child. It's over. Hallelujah.
So welcome to our show. We've been away for a minute. I think the last one was an update.
We did dreams after that.
So we had two last year?
We did a video. I don't know if that was podcast.
So maybe, the last one was about whose dream gets put on hold, I think it was. No. Last one is, are we holding us back? We were talking about our origin story, the differences in our family. Did we see entrepreneurs, how we're trying to structure our life different than how we came up, and we kind of walked through that. If you follow our Table for Seven vlog, which has also been on hiatus for about a month, the last couple we were talking about a topic that we wanted to do on our podcast, and we're finally getting around to doing it. But before we get into that, what's been going on with us?
You first. What's been going on with us?
I am happy that 2020 is over just as a mark in time, because I think at some point this year things will be different, and I don't know what that means, but I'm just hopeful for it. 2020 was very stressful for me professionally. I was literally doing 3 jobs and wasn't sure that it was being recognized for what it actually was. Ultimately, it worked out, right? I kind of understand what my future is with the company, and it's all good. I was acting in a more senior role in an interim basis, and I was not selected long term, but I actually have been in the role for 15 months. So I feel like that's experience, and there's been some very unique things that happened during last year. I mean, the company, we went public. So we were a private company, a government contractor. We went from being privately held to being a publicly traded company, and issuing stocks, being publicly traded on the stock market. So that was a big deal, and I was played a very key role in that. We also acquired 2 companies in the same year. So I feel like the experience that I got set me up for whatever is going to make sense at some point, right? So I'm not really stressed about not being selected for the role long term. I did get a promotion out of it, and I can't complain. I'm happy to have some of my life back. Like, the expectations were really strenuous, so that's where I'm at. But you got some stuff going on too. You got a couple of, what are they called? Not suffixes. What do you call when you put something behind your name? Titles.
Oh, titles. I got a couple titles.
Yeah, happening. So let's talk about that.
Okay, so let's start from actually our last podcast when we were talking about what's holding us back and things. So during that time, I had been going through some reflection because I'm getting older. And I made a decision last year after a family member was in the hospital, right, that if I thought about it, I'm gonna do it. And so that's how the last quarter of the year worked out for me. So I have launched just this past week a jewelry line of handmade polymer clay jewelry.
Hold on. Go ahead.
And it's
you
called,
can't hear it.
No, I can't.
I got sound effects.
Oh, Lord have mercy. It's called
Got the claps.
Opulence and Earth is the line of jewelry.
More sound effects.
Boom,
boom.
Yes, come on, husband.
She can't hear it, but
I really can't.
And if it doesn't make it, it might make it. But
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay.
Hold on. Let's bring the claps back.
I can't. The claps back.
Let's bring the class back.
Ooh, child. So that's the first thing.
So what is that called? What is that title called?
It's called Opulence and Earth.
No, the title behind your name. What title?
Oh,
did you pick
I'm owner designer.
You can't hear it. I'm having a ball with this. Go ahead.
Oh Lord! So there will be other things, other accessories and apparel added to that, and my book finally got illustrated. Hallelujah! More claps. So I'm in the very final stages of doing that editing process, making sure all the words, text, fonts, everything looks good, and that should be ready to go.
And all
any
the legal
day
stuff,
now. All the legal,
getting the copywritten, getting your
stuff.
ISBNs and all of that. But what's that title?
Author.
You see it.
You guys.
So really, I mean, however you're consuming this,
right?
I never really wanted to be on the. I just always wanted to produce stuff. Like my creativity is producing. So this is. You should have headphones on because it's a different experience if you actually had your headphones on. But anyway, you guys are welcome. We're trying to step it up just a little bit. And if you don't like it, just love God with all your heart.
Wait, right? Pause. But the content creation, sir, you didn't even talk about that.
Just me.
Like how you are moving forward and creating really quality digital content.
Well, I'm one of those
quality.
I'm one of those that always thinks that I can improve on whatever the project is. I mean, self-improvement is something related, but that's not what I'm talking about. But if I do something, I will sit on it for a long time, rethinking how it could be better if I want to scrap it and do it over. And I've been hesitant to put my stuff out there for a public opinion or to just suggest to somebody that what I create is actually worth something. So
I completely understand that.
Yeah, I mean, I've been, you can't see it as much on the vlogs because there's not a lot of room and it doesn't make sense. But like, I really want to get into a couple of things. I'm really interested in the interview process and potentially documentaries, just telling stories really. So whether that's short or long form, I'm really interested in that. What Kisha was talking about is I did an ad, a promo for the barber that I take my sons to, and he wanted something for IG. I went over there and shot it. I've been doing stuff like getting clips for a while, and this time I went and set up. I took the lights and all of that, and approached it like it was a real job, and got the footage. I had some direction. First of all, I left my battery at home. So Kisha, wifey, had to save me on that one because I had overthought everything, took the batteries out of, my cameras the night before, charged them up. So I had multiple batteries. Looked at them the morning that I was packing stuff up, got everything but the batteries. And that's how that went. But luckily,
I didn't even know that's what you were doing. I thought the boys just had haircuts.
Yeah. Come in some. So I don't know why I did that. But yeah, I took everything with the batteries. Kisha brought the batteries over there. I didn't panic. And it wasn't like this was a paid thing. This was a friend of a friend that's actually a barber. So we trust them, especially during COVID and all of that. I haven't taken my sons to a barbershop in a long time. Their hair got beyond a point where I can maintain it. Like they want styles and all of that. And honestly, I could probably get there. I used to cut hair, but at this stage, it just makes more sense to let him do it. Yeah. But anyway, when I got there, I was like, hey, you want to cut my youngest son first? And I was going to get some footage of that with my phone. And then while you're doing that, I'll set up so that when it's time to cut Donovan, he specifically wanted Donovan because Donovan has a high top fade. Like,
and it's clean, y'all.
Like he's a 90s rapper or something like that. But
the Gumby fade.
So anyway, long story, less long. Got the footage that I wanted, came home, and that's another thing. I came home and got on it immediately because I will film stuff. I'm sitting on a year's worth of footage. Facts. And once I get started, I'm good. So I got started, spent a few hours on it, and I sent him. I was like, hey, here's a rough draft. And he was like, yo, this is it, man. This is everything. And I was like, okay, I'm not finished. I hadn't really spiced it up, but did that, finished it that night, sent it all to him. He posted it, and then he tagged me, and I was just looking at the feedback on his page. Everybody was like, "This is good. This is good." The way we were introduced was a family that lived in our old neighborhood. We met through our kids going to school together. That's how the relationship started.
We became friends.
And
yeah.
I'm going to end up doing something. I'm going to do something for that family. They're entrepreneurs as well. And shout out to Tate Whalen Watch Company. You'll see some stuff from that if you're interested. If you actually follow us on social media, you'll see that. But yeah, so my long-winded.
For those of you who don't think this man talks, he does. Yeah,
I have to talk all day. I have to make decisions all day, and it's been like that for a few years now. So it's not right. I'm not suggesting it's right, but I just be talked out. Like I'm making decisions all day, and when you ask me what do you want for dinner, I'm like, man, food. And I'd be dead. I'm dead serious. Like, just food. It doesn't matter. Anyhow, we don't want this to take a turn for anything other than what it was intended. Circling back to what we were introducing on the vlog, that's kind of how we got here, right? Was the topic of today's podcast, right? And when I put it in the show notes, a long time ago.
Child.
And I was expecting way more reaction than I got, because I didn't really get a reaction at all. But maybe I get a reaction from y'all. The topic of today's, if I had to give it a title, that's what the pastors say, right? If I were to give it a title,
preach,
it would be called F Your Love Language.
Okay.
Mama said F.
And the letter. EFF.
I'm going to bleep it out so that it really gives her a panic. F Your Love Language. Yeah, so no, when you saw it, what did you think? Because you didn't say anything. I mean, in hindsight, you were on your journey of rediscovering you, so that probably didn't have a lot of priority. But what did you think?
I thought that this was a topic that I wanted to talk about too. So I was like, oh, okay, great.
But when you saw the title, what did you get from it?
I really didn't even.
Okay.
But did you see underneath I put my version, like my translation is your love unconditional.
Okay, let's
I know he wanted more,
important.
but y'all, listen, F your love language. I get it. I get it.
Did you put that?
Yeah.
Where?
Look at show topics. It's not in yours. Did it not show?
It's your love. Yeah. It's in there. That's all I'm saying. It's in there.
That's what you saying? You telling me?
Yeah. So what
were you thinking? What was your intention when you picked that as the title?
That's an interesting thing. But so mine was what it says, like F your love language. I think. Let me back up. So here's we're fumbling through our format because we're trying to get the intro and all of that right. We're not experts by any stretch, right? The career that I was talking about, making decisions, has nothing to do with family development, counseling, or any stretch of the imagination that links us to being professionals that you should listen to and do what we say. Okay, this is us sharing our story. Kind of explaining the knots that we have on our heads, so that you don't have to bump your head to get it. That's what this is about. So just throwing that out there. Now, what I actually meant with F your love language, I'm gonna say that frequently.
Right.
It just feels liberating. F your love language
feels nice.
Was, I know that for me, knowing what your love language was, I could, at some points, take advantage of it to make you feel a way by not showing love the way you prefer to receive it.
True.
Right? So from the outside looking in, my story would be I did all of these things. That sounds good.
Right.
Right. But if I know they meant nothing to her, it was, I don't even know what to call it. That was the point of it. Right. Mm-hmm. So you can know somebody's love language, intentionally show them love in a different way, mm-hmm. so that you don't look like the bad person.
Right.
But you know you're not actually giving them what they need. So that was my version of it. Mm-hmm. But is your love unconditional? Was there more to it than that? Because that's a very obvious question. But what did you have in mind for the conversation when you
determining, like, when you say F your love language, like, that's like, well, I really don't forget your love language. You gonna take this love how I give it to you,
or F it all together.
Oh,
it wasn't that, but I'm saying okay. Is that's what I was wondering how you would react to the title. But how did you guys react? How did you react? YouTube land, podcast land,
right,
Apple, Spotify, Stitcher,
all the things.
What's the other one? Podbean.
I think also that I didn't react in any type of like extravagant ways because we've been together for forever and we've had the ebbs and flow of every relationship. You know what I mean? So I know we've had discussions about our love languages and stuff
so
like that.
Hold on. Are you telling me that because we've been through so much already and we're locked in that this wasn't even something to get a reaction out of you?
I'm really like, not that I'm unbothered, you know what I mean? But it's like, okay, well, let's just move on to the next thing. So, I mean, would you care, like, think about my kind of personality, who I am. We're not going to go toe to toe. Like, we're not about to have words for real. We just going to move on. We just going to keep it moving.
I don't know if this becomes a new
topic,
podcast topic, but.
That bothers you?
Let's hold that one. No. How comfortable is too comfortable?
I don't know.
I don't want to talk about it now. I'm just throwing it out. That was a dramatic pause. Oh, like, yeah, we gonna. When y'all gonna do that? They in the comments now. Oh, when y'all gonna let us know? Let us know when y'all do that one. I think that's an interesting thing because you can get to a care less point where it doesn't mean that you're at odds or you're gonna leave or this, but you just disconnected.
Would you call it disconnected or would you call it non-confrontational? Like, when you weigh the options, is it really worth it to even?
One could be a byproduct of the other. Yeah, I don't want to talk about that. Let's
move on.
Put that in the, hold on.
You're going to put it in the notes, y'all.
New note. We need a new note for that.
Okay.
But back to, so is your love unconditional?
Because that's kind of like a byproduct of F your love. Like, okay, well, I don't love you, so I'm going to withhold this. Or you did this to me, so I know you like it when I do such and such, so I'm just not going to do it.
Well, do you think that was, I don't know how to ask it. Did you feel like you questioned, like that was a legitimate question, or you felt like it was a show topic? Like when you saw it, did it spark something like, hey, we actually need to talk about this? Or did you take it for just the topic and that was your opinion on it?
It was confirmation, like, oh, I want to talk about this.
Okay,
too.
Cool. I was making sure this one can go left.
Yeah, no.
Ooh, all right.
I want to talk about it too.
Yeah, I just, like I said, I think it's a manipulative.
Yeah, come on, big word.
Big word, no fumble. Hold on. I'm going to join that.
Listen, we're going to take this little, what is this called? This Zoom box.
Did I stop it?
Did you?
No, I didn't.
Okay. He going in, y'all.
that one's probably not gonna stay. But anyhow, I think it can be a manipulative 2 times
tool
tactic that I guess is like passive aggressive.
Definitely.
And
it could be aggressive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if your intent is to overtly hurt somebody, I guess it could be, you could take an aggressive approach. But if you just want to come across as, I'm not the bad guy, my spouse doesn't appreciate me, you can really set it up that way to, again, do all the things that from the outside look like they're meaningful.
Yeah.
But the whole while knowing that your partner, like it doesn't move your partner, it doesn't do anything for your relationship. Have you ever felt that way? Like a disregard for how I receive love?
I don't feel like I've done that intentionally. But I know that we've had many conversations about, or me saying like, I'm not doing it right. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know how to make you happy. I don't know. I don't know.
I think you were better at voicing it, and I think like my safety was, okay, let me do some things that look right externally, so that I'm like, so I appear to still be engaged. But I get what you're saying. I think one other important part that actually made this conversation made me more interested in this conversation was, I went and took the quiz last year. We did it before. We did it early in our relationship.
Right. It was either before we got it counseling.
I thought we did it as part of counseling. Keisha thought we did it. You thought I did it? You thought we did it as counseling. I thought we did it after or something.
Yeah, I know I printed it out. Like, we took it because I printed it out.
We both agreed that we took it, but at the time, no. I mean, this is year 16, so it's really a moot
16
point.
of marriage, but
yeah. But it changed. So I went and took it, which is a growth thing for me, because that's just not me going out of my way to find out about myself is a relatively new characteristic for me.
Yep.
And yeah, so I thought I was one way the entire time, and when I took the test, turns out that I've changed, which makes sense because I've grown up. So it had been at least solid 15 years, depending on what we took. We took it within a year of us being married, whether it was before or after. I'm confident about that. So when I went and took the test, I was surprised. I was like, wait a minute, I don't
like that.
It's like, wait, I don't like that no more.
I don't want that.
I thought, and then it made me question me, like, have I not been keeping it real with me, not knowing how can I feel some kind of way about her
not doing a thing,
treating me how I want to be treated, but I don't know how I want to be treated.
You had it wrong.
Yeah.
So let's go through our results first.
Hold on. Let's take a quick. We gotta take a quick break for an ad, and then we'll get right back into that after this. All right, so we're gonna get back into what were you saying?
We need to discuss our results.
Pulling up our results.
Yeah.
All right, you first.
Okay, so when I took let's first talk about the 5 languages. No, go ahead.
Okay, no, I was gonna ask, did you think that you had changed, or did you think that you were still the same before you took the quiz? But go ahead and do what they actually are.
Okay, so
what they actually are.
I'm gonna do what they actually are.
I'm not sure. It's 12:15 in the a.m. So
it is. So the 5 love languages, for those of you who don't already know, are quality time, words of affirmation, receiving gifts, physical touch, and acts of service. And the book was written in 1995 by Gary Chapman. So my results go as this. My primary language is quality time, which is actually it's almost tied with my second language, which is words of affirmation. Quality time was 33%, and then words of affirmation was 30%. And then I did have a few changes. So physical touch is 20%.
Did you say, hold on, did you say what all of them are?
Yeah, I said what all of them are.
Okay.
Then I have physical touch at 20%, receiving gifts at 10%, and acts of service at 7%. And I feel like receiving gifts was last the first time that I took it, and physical touch was right before last, and that has moved up to number 3.
And what was your number 1?
Quality time and words of affirmation are 30 and 33%. So,
and receiving gifts is number 3.
No, receiving gifts is number 4, like down to the bottom.
So which one which one moved the most?
Physical touch. That moved from 4 to 3. It switched. Gifts was last, so that moved up 1. Physical touch moved up. Acts of service moved down.
That's crazy. But were you expecting that?
I was expecting the physical touch. But the other ones, huh?
You had the hot and bothered stage.
Listen.
Okay. Was that it?
Yeah.
I mean, not.
Yeah.
It, but so mine. I don't know who I am. Let's just throw that out there.
I don't know who he is either.
Let's
obviously, apparently, yeah.
Let's lead with that. I don't know who I am. Number 1 for me. Do you know what it is?
Wasn't it words of affirmation?
No.
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 Quality time?
No.
Physical touch?
That's what it was before.
Oh, yeah.
I'm talking about from my results now. Guess what they are now?
Now, that's what I was saying.
No.
I said words of affirmation. No. Gifts?
No.
Service?
Acts of service is number 1 with 29%.
What?
Words of affirmation, 26%.
Okay.
Quality time, 23%. Physical touch, 16%. Receiving gifts, 6%.
Those last 2 were your first 2 the first time you took it. Physical touch was definitely your number 1.
I don't think gifts was up there though. I've never been had an expectation for gifts. Period.
Maybe it was acts of service because they're kind of similar.
Yeah. I mean, physical touch and do something for me. Yeah. Do something for me, physically touching me.
But that's no longer the case.
Yeah. I mean, don't say that.
No, but I mean,
that's not
to the degree that it was previously.
Yeah. No, no. I mean, receiving gifts, I don't give people a chance to buy me nothing anyway. So,
and that's
unless you're making it.
That's on Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Oh. There you go. One episode is normally at the end. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the Table for 7 family, where
I snort when
sometimes
I laugh.
People snort when they laugh.
My bad.
Snort products.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, so I acts of service, but it kind of makes sense now because, again, professionally, time is such a commodity, and everything has to happen so quick. And I've been responsible for so much for so long. When somebody does something to take the load off, that speaks to my soul. Like, oh, I figured you might, yes, and did it. So that's the whole, and I'm going to keep using this example because it's safe and it's not that serious, but it drives the point. Like the whole, what do you want for dinner? I would like to eat. And that's not me being a jerk. I'm cool with you figuring it out.
To give him what he wants to eat because he works so hard, but it doesn't come across that way.
Mm-hmm. Communication. So if you also didn't know,
we can't talk.
It's not yet written, but we have isn't it a masterclass? No, a book coming out on it's a relationship. That's the thing, right? You do relationship books, right? So we'd be in the relationship goals section of your nearest Books A Million. They still open. But it's called In Communication.
Terrible.
Which is not a word, but it is the art of communicating without actually knowing how to communicate. Hey, we 16 years and running. 15 and a half. No, he's 15 in 10 months.
Yeah.
Almost to the day. To the week. Yeah. But that's what that is. Like if you say I need something and you do it, that is way more. I'm way more appreciative of that, whether it's big or small, because I don't. Like I said, I'm not into. I like to have things, but I'm very particular about things that I buy. So I don't like putting that burden on somebody else where it could be.
Listen, I have returned a gift or two.
No, I'm just honest with like this. Nah, I got it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that thing.
Which makes it really hard.
Yeah. Because the things that I like, you can't just overhear it and go get it. You gotta look at specs. You gotta know exactly what I'm talking about. But for you, it's more like a shoe is a shoe, right? Well, I don't know. At least it was at one point. I mean, you kind of were when it comes to gifts. Like I think it's a thing.
Go through the rest of your things.
Words of affirmation. That one is surprising because I don't. Again, I get it, and I think those are important things, but I never woke up saying, the money is attracted to me. I am a higher version of myself.
But that's not what that means. That's more like me saying I appreciate you.
What I'm saying, that when I think of affirmations, I think that. So if I'm not saying it to myself as a practice, I'm not expecting someone to affirm me. And again, I'm not saying that my approach is right. I'm just being honest that like that hasn't been my thing. I'm trying to get better at it. Like I literally think I can do anything, right, that I would want to do. So it's not a matter of me having a low opinion of myself. But yeah. Anywho, quality time, it's 26, 23%. I think that makes sense. I think that's a good solid number 3. Especially having been in the pandemic for 8 months when we took it. If you can be in a pandemic and lockdown with your spouse and your family for 8 months and you still want to spend quality time, then you got something you probably want to hang on to.
Come on, preach.
I like my family. Physical touch. I be tired.
You be say it again one more time for the people in the back.
Gifts.
I'm be tired.
We already talked about that. Nah, for me, physical touch right now it's more tied to physical activity. Like the more I'm exercising, the more energized I am. But when I'm just in the rut of sitting in front of a computer for 42 hours a day.
But how does that relate to love?
That ain't it.
Like how do I
physical touch? I'm talking about physical touch.
Right. As your love language. So
how does what relate to?
You're saying that that it's more about you being physical, but how?
When I'm physically active, I want to be more touchy feely. Like I have more energy. I
didn't get that.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was saying.
Okay. All right. So do you have, let me read this. I thought it was very nice. Since mine was quality time, it says, in the vernacular of quality time, nothing says I love you like full undivided attention. Do you believe that is true?
Yeah, I think, let me talk about me first. I think that is another area for me to work on because I have developed the skill, good, bad, or indifferent, of giving attention to very specific things only for the time necessary to make a decision. So if you got 15 problems staring at you at work, I can't be engaged all day on one problem to appease somebody else. I gotta, okay, what is it? So what are the issues? What are the issues? That, back up, go. Okay, here's what we gotta do. Like that's the rhythm, which is not appropriate in the house, is what I'm saying. So I gotta work on that. But that's where it comes from. You develop it's like a muscle. Like if you're getting paid to de-risk or de-escalate situations, solve things quickly, you don't waste words. You don't want people to waste words to get to that.
Okay.
That's not the appropriate approach. The conversation with my family is what I'm saying. So that's the learn to turn it off. I'm trying to get better though. So when you start talking to me, I am listening, but I may not be engaging you, like looking at you.
That
like,
that said to me all the way.
But be fair. When you're talking about something that you want, need, or would like to have, it kind of shows up, right?
Yeah. Yes.
So I'm paying attention. I'm not demonstrating it like I should be. So
that's kind of like the acts of service or the gifts or whatever, but you're not giving, like you were saying in the beginning, I'll withhold the love from in this particular way, but I'll do the other things. So it looks like I'm doing whatever. Like I can remember us having conversations all throughout our marriage, I guess. And it's like, dude, can you look at me? Yeah. And
yeah.
That part, no? Do you?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, that's important, I guess. That I just thought that was a nice little situation. What do you think is the most important thing as it relates to your love language that you are not receiving, like that you don't feel like is being done in the way that you need it to be done?
Acts of service. Like, don't doubt yourself. Not that you don't want to do. I don't think that you intentionally don't do or don't want to do. I think you second guess yourself a lot. And I don't know how to solve that.
I think that comes from, I just, like I said before, I just don't know. Like I don't know, man. I be trying to figure it out.
What do you think?
That I don't receive in the way. I think that we could definitely do a better job of having actual conversation, because in our everyday we don't actually get to sit down like this and talk to each other, and that is very important to me to have, like, to exercise my brain, like to talk about random things, to talk about important things, and I think that because you talk so much, it's hard to talk to me, and I need that.
I agree.
Yeah.
And I think so for any first time listeners or those that may be on the fence, or that threw some question in your mind what she just said, we don't get on here to talk to get views. There's something, for me at least, that's like therapeutic about having conversations like this. And again, we think it could benefit people. It's not advice. This is a peek into what our family dynamic, I shouldn't say, well, I guess couples deal with, but our family dynamic. And sometimes we got to catch ourselves, right? And have these conversations, and having an intentional structure like this is therapeutic for me. I guess it's kind of like sitting down with, if you have to go talk to somebody about something, stuff comes out. But if you didn't have to go talk to that person, like an objective third party, maybe you never have the conversation. Right. So that's what it is. This isn't, we don't conjure up things just to get on here and try to portray something other than what it is.
Yeah, we trying to figure it out just like y'all.
Yeah, just want to throw that out there. And I guess some more backstory. Well, did you have any more on that?
Go ahead.
Just in terms of family dynamics. So Kisha and I, we got married. We got married twice. She's so fly, married twice.
Oh, thanks, babe. You fly too.
if we had to do it over again, would we do it the same? That's another topic. That's not to be discussed here. But yeah, we got married in 2005. We have 5 kids. Today they are 17, 15, 13, 7, and 6. So Kisha has 5 kids. I want to throw that out there. Trying to remind you guys every podcast that Kisha has 5 kids. So, celebrate me because I appreciate her, and
thank you.
I don't hold her having 5 kids against her. So,
like he didn't sire these kids.
Yeah, 5 kids. They 3 girls, 2 boys. Now we live in Texas. This is technically home now. We're from the 757 area of Virginia. We moved all around. We spent some time. We spent 3 years overseas. For a work opportunity that I had, and then we came back in 2018. Bought a house here in Texas 2020. So we bought a house during the pandemic. But I say all that to say is that we've specialized in life events. And this is the first time in a long time that it seems like there's some clarity or certainty in what we're doing. Mm-hmm. I mean, certainty is a bad word. I mean, it's not the right word. Because we've been moving around, it's not running from stuff, it's been job opportunity. So Keish was in the military. We didn't move because of that. But I think that's one of the things that helped, because either I was going to be moving for her. It was more likely that I would have been moving following her when we first got married, because she was in the Air Force. Then she got out, and then we've been kind of moving following my career. But it's been event.
We have not had any time to.
Yeah. And it's very easy to get caught up in focusing on being successful at events and missing like the relationship development piece of it.
Agreed.
So I think this is like, we're sitting still. That's one thing that's come out of the pandemic, to find a positive in it. We're sitting still. We lived overseas. I traveled. When we moved back here, I was traveling a lot because I just moved into a new role. Yeah. Then I assumed more responsibility a year after that. So I was on a plane once or twice a month. And then toward the end of the year, I felt like I think I have probably 14 hotel keys between August and December 2019.
And I really had 5 kids then. I really had 5 kids. Mm-hmm.
But just to give you some context as to kind of what our story is and what other dynamics, and then all 5 of those kids need their attention differently.
Individually, yes.
At different stages. We got a senior and a kindergartner. So it's
who did that?
It's a house full of. You probably should do it with the kids. And the older kids said they would want to participate in a podcast as well. Yeah. And I think I got enough mics to do it, so maybe that's something we can do one day. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So where are we going with this? What is the?
I want to know. I'm sorry. How important do you feel? Like, how important is it really to you to have your language spoken to you, and for you to speak your language to me? Like, how important is that?
It's really important now because it's because we've been together so long. It's like, you don't know me. Like, you don't know me by this point.
But you don't know you. I just wanted to slide that in there. Just kidding. Carry on.
So that's how I feel.
Go ahead,
How
babe.
Do you feel?
No, go ahead, babe.
Miss Lakeisha.
Stop. No, for real. Continue.
I mean, it's like 16 years and you still don't know. What are we doing?
Yeah.
It feels like that sometimes.
Okay.
That's all I was going to say.
Okay.
How about for you?
I feel like it's really important. I also feel like it's important for us to continually reassess, which we have not done. Like you said, it's been 15 solid years since we did this. So I feel like that's probably a component of why we've been like the struggle kind of receiving and giving of love. Do you agree?
Yeah. I think that's fair. think it's fair. So what are your takeaways? No, the other part of it is you asked how important is it for me to show you love the way you need it. It's really important for me now because I know like you're kind of morphing into this next. That's not offensive, is it?
No.
Morphing.
Like a butterfly, they morph. It's fine.
Yeah, you're morphing into this next phase of you, and that's kind of been on hold for me. So maybe that was divine, divinely defined
bars.
Yeah, interjection into my career for me not getting the role permanently, because maybe there's more to be had with what we're working on to allow us to focus the way that we need to focus. So I ain't mad. I'm not mad. The competitive part of me was like, man, because I was competing for it. But again, the experience can't take that from me. And I'm one of those that actually got promoted because I know and do the work. I didn't relationship my way into anything. And that's important to me. So you drop me wherever, I'm still going to have the same skill set.
Yeah. I'm proud of you either way.
Appreciate that, fam.
Fam, okay. I have a question. Do you feel like, as you were saying when we first started this discussion, that I have manipulated the give and take of love for your language? Do you feel like I've done that?
Manipulate, no, but I think you've been either unsure or indecisive and you just didn't.
Can you give an example?
Yeah, like when I like make a decision, I'm serious. Like, this is your thing. I'm cool with whatever, and I get that. I get what I'm gonna get because you're making a decision, but you'll kind of be in your head a little bit and not want to make a decision, and then I'm frustrated because I do it anyway.
I don't want to disappoint you. It's important for me not to let you down.
Making a decision is more reward. I appreciate that more than getting it right. And it's not like I'm not difficult. I eat like 3 things.
I get exactly.
Well, not now.
That's what makes it difficult.
Change my diet, but this is not. But I mean, the food was an example. It's really because I actually like cooking.
Yeah.
Check my cooking show. Depending on when you're listening to this, if you're listening to this within the first 2 weeks of it being put out, then probably not the cooking show.
No cooking show.
Except for on IGTV. It's called I Be Cooking. It's a series.
Love it.
Anywho. But yeah, now I don't think like I don't. It's been frustrating for me because I'm like, man, why don't you just do, like your book, just like all these things that you're going to be great at, but you have to hone the process, which I have done too. So there's that.
So, big question.
A bigger question?
Yeah. Since your love language is acts of service, I know that you said just do. What is at the top of the list of things that I could just do? Other than just decide on food and things like that. Like, are there other things outside of domestic duties that fall into this category for you? That I know you say people at work could just do. Like,
no, because the thing for me is like having a peaceful home, and that includes how it looks and how it's presented, puts me in a place where I can go be great. Like, that's part of it for me. And just to be clear, my expectation, at least for the last 7-8 years, is not that Kisha cleans. It is that Kisha ensures the house is clean. There's a very big difference. If that means bringing somebody in to help, we'll do Uber Eats 2 less times a month. I won't buy a pair of shoes for another 2 months. Like I am perfectly fine with that. Mm-hmm. So nobody get it twisted. I don't know what our population is, but what she said outside of domestic. And if Kisha was like, fun fact, I have no problem with my wife making way more money than me.
We started off like
you know how much upside that's gonna be when you blow me out of the water?
I'm so excited to be able to retire my spouse.
When it comes to the point that your time has a higher financial return than mine, I will organize all of the things.
Yeah.
I'll lay your lunch out if you would like me to. So it's not about stay barefoot and pregnant because you already got 5 kids.
I already did that.
You demonstrated that you're fertile. So
we've done that.
Fall back.
Been there.
But yeah, just like the responsibility of ensuring that things are taken care of. Any other thoughts on that? Because we need to take a break. We got one more ad and then we'll wrap it up right after this. All right, let's try to wrap this thing up. Let's put a bow on it. I think we actually got a cohesive conversation. Yeah. I think this is this is a good example of just doing it. Because we sat here, had all kinds of, I was the issue.
You were?
Today. Because this was my topic, our topic, but I was pressing for it and then I couldn't find my results. So, but we worked through it. Didn't panic, didn't argue.
Of course not.
Because that's not the way.
Listen, do you feel like I'm an arguer?
No.
Yeah, I'm just
Neither
not.
one of us are. That's the best.
Because we just like,
again, how comfortable is too comfortable?
Do you think that's being okay, I'm sorry. I just want to talk about it.
Another topic.
I just want to talk about it.
But yeah,
so
anyway,
how do we move forward loving each other properly now that we've sat and had this conversation?
I think we'd be more intentional. I think we need to block out time for each other.
Mm-hmm. And the pandemic ain't helping y'all because I'm scary. Like I'm scared.
What do you mean?
I want us to be able to go and do things like that. Makes me happy for us to go and do things together.
I'm not even talking about, I mean, I get it. I get that part, but I'm saying just, we don't have to be around people. We could just, I think we need to be more intentional because for me, it was easy to slip into, well, I'm always home.
Yeah.
So she always sees me, but we're not, my job enough was demanding, kids enough were demanding. Child. And now Kisha she's going hard on her stuff.
Do stuff right now.
But we're gonna get all that stuff pushed out. But I think we just gotta, like, this is the time of these days, or this is the time of this day every week that we just gonna figure it out. Whether that's planning or just watching something that we both interested in. I don't know. For me, I don't even watch TV or movies like traditional anymore. There are a couple of shows that I like in terms of like anything with home renovations or flipping houses, stuff like that.
Or cooking
shows. But yeah, if most of my time now is I'm trying to learn something, trying to learn how to get better at
Agreed.
Like editing or learning different aspects of business, learning stocks, real estate market, all that kind of stuff. So I think I don't want to get to the place where I'm so focused on we got to be financially free that I miss the whole journey.
Yeah.
Focusing on the destination.
Because we getting old, y'all. We're getting old.
Kisha about to be
40 out this month.
Okay, you say it.
I don't mind saying my age. Yeah.
3 weeks.
Yeah. I don't mind saving age. I got a lot to get done in 3 weeks, y'all.
3 weeks.
I have a whole list of things that I want to get done.
But yeah, this was I appreciate you. So I was asleep.
Yeah.
But thing about me is I'm gonna fall asleep.
And will.
When my body, when the body say go. And I woke up. I wasn't sure if I was about to go to a meeting, if I was late for a meeting, or if it was. I didn't know if it was like 3 a.m. It was 10:30.
You had already been out.
Kisha was all face made up. I was like, wait, what? Okay.
I was like, are we doing this? Let's do it. Yeah.
But I like how it worked out. Like, we put effort into it. So my part is the setup, like setting stuff up. We're in a different room. This is probably the room that we may shoot in for some time, but it may look different because we're still trying to figure things out. Yeah. And this room isn't fully decorated yet, but you can't, just imagine if you're listening to the audio, we are redoing rooms at our pace in the house that we just bought. So we did the dining room. And it's about done. We got some touch up stuff to do. 75% done. And like some finishing touches.
Accoutrement. That's my favorite word.
That we got to do. So, but yeah, once that's done, you can come in and have the conversation. The conversation is the easy part for me, but I appreciate that I know you got stuff you still gonna go do, and then I'm going to sleep because I got to get up at 6.
We got to work on that.
Then my meeting start at 7 tomorrow, so.
Working out time. Having this new business and trying to figure out timing is difficult for me. Like I haven't figured out. I mean, it's new, but I ain't figured it out, y'all. It takes time to do what I have to do, and then and I want it to be perfect. One thing.
That's your name.
Yeah, it's
your name on it. You got people paying you they want a product.
A good quality product.
Gotta get the product.
Do you feel like all of your concerns were addressed, sir? Everything you wanted to say was
said?
I
think it was a good conversation. I hopefully that we can get into a rhythm and get these conversations going, and let us know what you think. We're interested in your feedback. If you're listening on what is it? On Spotify, you can rate us. If you listen on Apple, please rate us. If you're listening on
I don't know the names.
What is the one that we post through?
Oh, child, I don't know. Something. As we look.
Awkward silence. Anchor. If you listen on Anchor, you can actually leave us a voice note.
Oh, we like those.
And tell us how you felt about it. Comment your perspective on the conversation, or give us thoughts on another topic. We do want to start having guests at some point, but I think it's important that first, it's important for us to get our rhythm down and get a couple shows in the books so that we have a catalog. Couple folks are interested. I don't like doing them remotely.
Yeah.
But we'll figure it out. There's a couple folks locally that practice how we practice in terms of COVID protocols that might make sense. So I'm looking forward to it again. Like my whole thing right now, I want to get more content out. I want to stop sitting on ideas and just get stuff out there in the world and let it live. See how it does.
Let it live. I like that. Put it on a shirt.
Yeah.
Just let it live.
So, in prior episodes, we usually close with the segment that Kisha calls
Woo Cha.
And
I ain't got one.
I'm sure there is one. So Woo Child is I guess it's by definition it doesn't have to be about our kids. Or maybe it should be because Woo Child.
But we got so many child.
Yeah, it's not like it's
I know.
I think I don't know. I like all the kids are doing so well right now. I don't really have any like they've adapted to this life, which I would not be able to adapt to any stage that any of our kids are in right now. So I just applaud them for
excelling.
Here's a woo child.
Oh.
So to close out 2020, our kids called us to the carpet.
Oh, they did.
They called us to the table. What is the red? Well, red table.
Not a red table.
Yeah. Ain't no entanglements. They called us to the carpet about how they perceived the way that we parent. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting. And part of it had me seething. Seething's word, right?
Yes, it is.
Yeah, when you like me, the vernacular, spectacular. Part of it had me seething because I'm like, how dare they
have feelings?
I got the audacity to question how I parent, because I didn't grow up. We didn't grow up where that was the thing that you did and lived.
Right.
You stay in a child's place, but it was important, and they were sticking up for how they felt there was some inconsistencies with how we parent, and we had a conversation about it, and they got it. And I've seen some changed behavior on their side and our side. So that was a moment. That was a moment of made me realize that I am first generation listening to your kids. We are first generation listening to your kids. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with bad parenting. It's just the cycle.
Mm-hmm. And it's important.
Yeah.
Because they're developing their emotions. They're developing how they deal in situations. If we are constantly closing that in, they're not going to know how to be adults and deal in situations. So, I mean, it may be new age to some people, but we got to normalize treating our kids like humans, like people too.
I agree with that. Yeah. So that was a woo child moment, and we didn't sing the closing hymn at the end, but it was very
kumbaya.
Very kumbaya. There goes the woo child, and just for the sake of
he got buttons, y'all.
Yeah, the woo child segment is clapping.
It's okay.
Yeah, clapping.
That's your favorite button.
I got claps. I got the air horn.
Oh, okay.
And I got, it's like a boom, like when you make a point. It's like, it's funny because you did your head at the same time, but you can't hear it.
I'm trying to be on one accord with you.
Yeah.
Trying to be there with you.
I think that's what
I'm trying to be there with you.
You got anything else?
I'm trying to be there with you. Okay.
You about to go do work. I'm about to be sleeping. So
I know.
we have to pencil that in.
I got a package order. That's fine.
I think I'm done.
Okay. Oh, get your
Oh, you plug in. And the people that are listening, Kisha is currently modeling the earrings that she has in her jewelry shop that are handmade of the finest materials and quality that she makes. Polymer clay. Mm-hmm. And you can go check it out on Etsy at Love
Kisha J Studios.
Kisha J Studios. Mm-hmm. They're available for purchase, and people have been purchasing.
Yes, they have been.
I heard that thing going cha-ching.
Yes.
I said, wait a minute.
What is that?
You all the way in the business.
Are you proud of me, babe?
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of you too.
All the way in the business. Just next time, take your phone with you upstairs. That's another show topic. Stop leaving your stuff where I'm at and walking away.
I mean, I feel like all the important people are in the house.
Anywho,
okay.
That is all we got for this episode of the podcast. Again, thank you for checking in with us. If you're on YouTube, what's good, fam?
Hey.
If you're on Apple, Spotify, please give us a review. If you're listening on Anchor, if you want to leave us a voice note, wherever you are, leave us a review. It helps. If the review is good, leave it 5 stars on Apple.
If you like what you hear and see,
concerns about what you heard, leave us a message on Anchor. Cool. After you leave the 5 stars on Apple.
I love you.
God bless y'all.
Be blessed, fam.
Be blessed, fam. And we up out here. But we gonna leave y'all with
I can't.
This.
More buttons. I just want to know what that sounds.